Hey, don't miss out. In the right lower corner of the YouTube video, you're gonna see that small red mark. Click on it and select the 4K video quality. You are not going to regret it. Those details are important. The views are stunning. Enjoy! Here's another residential beachfront tower, approximately 35-story tall, built in 2003, and square foot here costs between $600 and $1,100, give or take. The association fee, I believe, is $900 a month. Work product of the famous architectural office whose work populates the skyline here. Non-reflective glass, which is particularly visible in comparison to the adjacent tower, which is good news for birds and bad news for occupants, as it most likely indicates high solar heat gain coefficient. And we can see what is unusual in this building is that there is an actual concern for the curb appeal when one approaches it from the air. The ductwork, the hoods, everything here is nicely painted in that kind of salmon colored paint of the facade itself. And we can see already from this distance that those walls are very badly cracked. There are dark cracks at the separation lines between the masonry infills and the reinforced concrete structure. There are also cracks in those white areas where you can see the crack is jumping between the window head and the actual top of the roof slab. Then we can see the roofing is made of the modified bitumen, and there is an interesting spider work in the form of a triangle at the top. Here we can see again those are badly cracked walls. You can see the rectangular repetitive pattern of cracks. Here we can see a little bit of a seepage along the crack below the roof level, and here we can see also a terrace that comes with a very bad fluorescence, kind of a symptomatic for inadequately provided terrace waterproofing and tile work. On the right side we can see a mirror condition, and there are multiple patches in this bituminous roof. There are marks on the roofing suggesting quite a lot of work was done here with industrial rope. There is no trace of any dedicated coping. Those are all unprotected edges. See also a pattern of cracks here and a bad rust at those anchor points for the spider work. You can see it also already remedially repainted. Those locations are difficult to access, so they receive a precious little maintenance. And those pitch pockets need to be properly protected by the hoods, which are already bad. There are davits for the industrial rope system installed on the back side of the parapet walls, which is a nice touch. And we can see that this parapet wall is already badly cracked with already remedial sealant application, which is slightly darker here on that picture, going across one of the scuppers. There is a faceted curtain wall at this location, which is in front of a very nice representative lobby, which we will need to blur on this picture. Here is the general picture showing how far away it is from the beach. There is an embed holding the curtain wall beam that's already badly rusting. Here we can see those cracked walls from yet another perspective, and you can see also that a tall building like that is typically associated with some bird activity. We take advantage of the ascending air gliding in front of those walls. You can see patches marking previous repairs at the corners of those parapet walls. We can also see a slight misalignment between the surfaces of the masonry wall and the concrete structure. indicating that the control joints actually were placed at the top of the structural beams, and there are only horizontal ones with very few exceptions. The tower is fairly symmetrical with only minor variations among those lower terraces and roofs. According to one of the real estate websites, it's one of the most sought real estate assets in South California, a uniquely authentic, shamelessly gorgeous and state-to-art modern way attitude combination of the boldest idea of relaxing sanctuary, quote unquote. And to be clear, it's located in South Florida, not California. It looks very presentable from the air, so a pilot like me could actually enjoy the view from the top. You will notice that all the control joints align with the top lines of the structural floor slabs, which is a bad sign, which means that an architect did not follow even initially the proper tectonics of the facade. So the nice aerial view for a pilot is slightly spoiled by the awareness that it must leak very badly inside the building through all those cracks in the walls. Looking at those parapet walls, screen walls and the rooftop equipment, I can see the general tendency to leave the top surfaces exposed. There is no copings, no flashings, no protection under the anchors of the chiller, and it doesn't seem like there is much concern about the water that would migrate inside this wall through the cracks that would invariably open in the top surfaces of the parapet wall, which is particularly exposed to thermal action, to the expansion and shrinkage. I very much like the pedestrian access to the top roofs. This is a nice feature to have, to be able to walk the stairs up to the top roof as opposed to climbing a ladder. Well, thank you for taking the sky tour with me. I am an architect with over a quarter of century of experience in a very narrow field of building enclosures and also a pilot. Please let me know if you enjoyed this tour. It would motivate me to post more.